Ow, jerk. If you don't like that, just say so. I can do other animals too. Dire cat, frog dog, quaky monkey lizard.
So that is a vette. She's a Twi'lek treasure hunter who gets partnered up a little bit reluctantly with our Sith warrior. And I'm guessing that the first question you have on your mind after hearing that is, what is a Koarkian monkey lizard? Actually, some of you know the answer to that question, but the other question is, who is in fact providing that voice? Does anybody know? No? I'll give you a little hint. She may have also provided the voice of Mission in the original Knights of the Old Republic. Anyone? No? All right, everybody, just all kidding aside, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Mrs. Catherine Tabor. There she is. She's going to be up here for a little Q&A, but I do have one quick question for you, Catherine. Do you know what a Koarkian monkey lizard is, and can you do an impression?
Favorite characters, but being a professional, if I do my impression right now, you guys have to pay me.
Mr. Reed, can you provide us? Yeah, Mr. Stephen has mentioned he can do a Koarkian monkey lizard. There we go. There we go. Excellent. So that was nice. That was awesome. We're not going to have a contest. Please don't start that. All right. So we have one more character we're going to show with you. It's actually the first time we've revealed this companion.
That's home to me. Whatever happens, I want to be with you always.
Now that is Nadia. She is one of the companions to our Jedi consular, and as you might have guessed from that little clip, she is in fact one of the companions you have a choice to perhaps try and romance. Now, this may or may not inform whether or not you take that choice, because we also have with us Miss Holly Fields. Holly Fields, please come on. Thank you both for joining us here today. As I said, we will be having them participate in the Q&A, so if you have questions for the actresses, please put those in the back of your mind right now. Put some of them out of your mind right now. Thank you. All right, now, as you've seen, from voiceover to unique storylines, the commitment to story is what makes the Star Wars The Old Republic really a game changer in the land of the massively multiplayer game. But we also have to address the other pillars of a truly great RPG. Those are exploration, progression, and combat. And we're going to talk a little bit about each of those right here today. I'm actually going to let my boss, Mr. Richard Vogel, talk to you a little bit about exploration in the Old Republic.
Thanks, Dallas. What better universe to explore than Star Wars? Seriously. Everyone remembers from the movies these great planets and iconic locations. Well, in Star Wars The Old Republic, you will get to go and visit these planets that we so dear and love, like Tatooine and Hoth, for example. One of the great things about our planets and locations is not only will you see planets that you're familiar with the Knights of the Old Republic, but also new planets that we develop that have never seen before in the expanded universe will be shown in our game. One way to get around to these planets is your personal ship. Think of it as your mobile home in space. Your personal ship, our ships dedicated to each class will have its own unique ship that they can use and explore the universe, which is pretty damn cool. Now, one of the good things about it is you can see this galaxy map, which you can get on your ship and allows you to travel to different planets. Not only that, it can get you into space combat, like you're seeing here. So great map that you can explore the universe with, you can get into combat battle, like you see here. Now, many of you think, well, these planets like Tatooine and Hoth are huge. How am I going to get around? Well, you may have known about the previous releases of vehicles that we've shown, but we're also going to show some brand new vehicles that we're going to show you. So for the higher level gameplay that we have. There you go. From the forest moons to Tatooine. So now, these are really cool in the game, trust me, they're awesome. And the neat thing about it is, like, with Luke Skywalker, the land speeder at his time was pretty common, but back 3,000 years ago, it wasn't. So you needed the land speeder, was more of a higher level type gameplay, and good drivers you have to have for that kind of vehicle. So we're reserving those for the higher level gameplay in our game. Now, remember that the vehicles will change probably as we get to launch. So what you see here are just preliminary versions of what we're going to have. But when you get to the game when we launch, they'll probably be even better looking and cooler than what you see here. Let's Dallas talk about progression.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Richard Vogel, ladies and gentlemen. So again, I mentioned progression. This is a role-playing game, so you're going to be progressing throughout the game. It's one of the tenets of making a truly great RPG. We also showed you a little bit of the type of progression that you choose yourself through the choices you make in your story. It actually changes not only your character, the way the story unfolds, but actual aspects of your gameplay. But on top of that, we also have hundreds of really amazing powers, abilities that you get, tremendous armor and weaponry upgrades, ridiculous cool looking stuff. So if you want to take a look at some of the visuals of what you might look like in the game as you progress, we're showing a few of them up here, but if you want to really see the full depth of it, make sure you go to the website, StarWarsTheOldRepublic.com. We've been releasing progression videos every few weeks, and we've shown many of the classes and what they can look like at the lower levels, what they look like at the highest levels. So if you really want to know how to look awesome, how to impress your friends, check it out on the website. But last but not least, we want to talk a little bit about combat. Now, we've certainly talked a little bit about this in the past. We said, in Star Wars The Old Republic, we want to make sure that combat is evocative of the movies, that it is fast-paced, action-packed. It really feels visceral and smooth. On top of that, though, we've added something that is very much a BioWare tenet. We've added companion characters. And James Olin is going to talk to you a little bit about companion characters generally, as well as companions in combat. Mr. Olin. Okay.
Thanks, Dallas. So companion characters have been an integral part of BioWare role-playing games for more than 15 years. For those of you who are familiar with BioWare role-playing games, since Baldur's Gate, through Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, all the way to modern games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, they've always been a huge part of our games. And they're going to be a huge part of Star Wars The Old Republic as well. In fact, if you think about it, companion characters are kind of huge to the Star Wars movies. Han Solo has Chewbacca, and Luke Skywalker has R2-D2. So being such an important part of our game, such an important feature, we're always looking at ways to polish, improve, and make changes to companion characters as our game develops. So most of these changes come from feedback that we receive from players, fans, such as yourself, that are currently playing our game, lucky enough to right now.
Although do not violate your NDA right now. You can't tell people you're playing yet.
And obviously internal sources as well. So there's, we've been making a lot of different changes, some small, some big. Some of the smaller changes we've been doing to companion characters. So right now when you play the game, you can actually change what your companion character is wearing, his weapons, and all the rest of his equipment. But we've been getting a lot of feedback that says that players want to actually be able to change what their companion character looks like. So we decided to give them that ability. So you'll notice that, for example, Vette up here, a Twi'lek. A Twi'lek can have many different kinds of skin colors, whether it's red or yellow or blue. So we're giving players, and this is just one example, the ability to change, for example, the skin color of the companion character. A minor tweak, but just to kind of show you guys how the game is developing as we continue to give feedback. Now we've also done some much more significant changes to companion characters, and I kind of have to be a tease because I can't really go into too much detail, but we'll be talking about it in a few weeks. But basically we've been taking feedback from our fans and some of the players that has said that they really want to be able to have the ability to customize and adjust the AI, the artificial intelligence of their companion characters in the same way that they've been able to do in other games that BioWare's made, such as Dragon Age. They've also expressed the desire to really be able to have a lot more control, the depth of control that people are used to in BioWare RPGs. So we've been making those changes, and we're going to be testing them, and we're really quite excited. So I can't wait till we can talk about it in the future. Anyways, that's it for companion characters. I think we're going to Q&A now.
I think we are. So everybody who has a question, please, we have a microphone there. Line up. It looks like nobody has any questions. That's not a run. While they're lining up, I actually have a couple of questions for our actresses here. So Catherine, you obviously have worked on not just Knights of the Old Republic in the past. You worked on several other Star Wars properties. Now you work on Star Wars The Old Republic. Can you tell us about the big difference between working on the original KOTOR and working on Star Wars The Old Republic?
Well, the original KOTOR mission was my very first voiceover job, so I had nothing to compare it to. But when I got my script, which was about this big, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. and we worked on it for a little while. When I got my script basically for this game, I would say over the course of the years that I've been working on it, my script probably is this big. And we
A couple of lines there.
Yeah, so it just shows you how deep you can go into the universes here and the storylines.
And we make you memorize them, every single one.
Every single one of them,
Right.
yes. And I don't get paid if I mess them up. So.
Excellent.
Yeah, but the stories are really deep, and you really get to see that just from the acting side, how much deeper you get to go into the storylines and make your choices and stuff. It's unlike anything I've ever seen, and I'm pretty excited about it too.
Thank you. So Holly, this is your first Star Wars game to work on?
Yes, I've been doing games my whole life. I usually work on Shrek, for everything for Shrek, for camera
Right.
ideas. But yes, my first Star Wars, and I didn't even know I got the Star Wars game because I was told it was the Old Republic. So, and I had auditioned and I thought I did horrible, and I got home and found out I got it, and my agent's like, by the way, it's it's Star Wars, and I'm the biggest fan of Star Wars. So of course I screamed, and my neighbors heard me and called the cops or something. No, so it's an amazing character, and I'm so thrilled to be a part of it.
Excellent.
And it's a hot character. It's just very sexy.
Excellent.
I like it.
Does anybody here like Star Wars? I don't know if you do. We all like Star Wars.